Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 1997 creature feature, Anaconda. The film is directed by Luis Loza and it stars Jon Voight, Jennifer Lopez, Eric Stoltz, Ice Cube, Jonathan Hyde, Owen Wilson and Danny Trejo. The film follows a group of filmmakers who head off down to, well, the Amazon to film nature. They've got the whole crew there. They've got the guide, Eric Stoltz, and all the people that work on the crew. And then they come into a little bit of trouble, and they are joined by Jon Voight's character, Paul Cerrone, who is a local who appears to be offering them help, but what they don't realise is in actual fact that he's leading them into danger because he's got ulterior motives. He wants to capture the world's biggest anaconda, and essentially he'll do that in any way he can because he knows that it'll make him a very, very rich man. Right, what are my thoughts on Anaconda? Well, I think it's fair to say that this is one of the ultimate guilty pleasure films out there for most people. At the time when this came out, it got poor reviews. It was nominated for Razzies, I believe, but it was a box office hit. And that's because, it's one of those audience-pleasing films that just, it's full-on balls to the wall, nonsensical entertainment, and it's completely and utterly blatant with that. It doesn't really care. It just has a lot of fun with the material that it's got, and it's undeniably an entertaining film. It's got one of the most over-the-top performances you're ever going to see from Jon Voight. This villainous performance that is just, on one hand, it's absolutely ridiculous, but on the other hand, it's a work of genius that Jon Voight does with this character. That you can't help but hate the guy, but you almost like him at the same time. Rammed full of stars, this film, notable names, obviously Jennifer Lopez, Eric Stoltz, Ice Cube, Owen Wilson, many of them on the cusp of stardom. And this was, it was a great move, really, for many of them because it got them out into the cinema. It got audiences watching them for a popcorn pleasing creature feature movie. And I always find it amusing, really, that people kind of throw shade at films like this. It ain't meant to be Shawshank Redemption. It ain't meant to be, some timeless classic. It's just meant to put your bum on a seat, a bucket of popcorn on your lap, a nice cold drink next to you, and just watch it, enjoy it, and leave the cinema and just have a laugh at your mates at how crap it is at times, because it's hard to take the film particularly seriously, but it's got a lot of memorable scenes. The CGI has dated terribly. I mean, I remember watching this for the first time. I don't think I saw this at the cinema. I don't remember going to the cinema to see this. But I remember some of the CGI at the time, watching it and thinking, well, that looks garbage. And apparently the CGI cost nearly, I think, about $100,000 a second. They were bloody robbed, I would suggest. Terrible CGI at times. They also worked with animatronics, and those worked best. And I do think, like I say, there are some shots that work really, really well. Obviously, the most memorable shot is when the anaconda decides to munch Jon Voight's character, and you see it from the inside of the snake, like swallowing him. I just think that's just mental, absolutely crazy, and it's just so fun and entertaining to watch, to kind of see him being swallowed that way, and then when he kind of gets spat out and he looks at Jennifer Lopez and does that wink, you just think, oh, how can you hate a film like that is just so blatant in its you know, I'm going to entertain you approach to filmmaking. And it does, it works, you know what I mean? It's a tried and tested formula, you know what I mean? Characters getting taken out one at a time, in increasingly creative ways, sort of thing. Everybody hams it up in their performances. You know, they know what they're doing. You know the kind of film that they're in, and they're kind of having fun with it. You know what I mean? The only one really that probably is a little bit too bland in her approach to the film is Jennifer Lopez. Everybody else kind of seems to be in on the joke, and the performances kind of reflect that. And if you like, hers is just straight down the middle. You know what I mean? Taking it all deadly seriously. And that's probably what they want. It's not saying it's her fault or anything. That's probably what they wanted from her character. But I just think it's almost like, in films like this, every character kind of almost needs to be like invisibly winking at the camera and the audience in a sense of, yeah, it's stupid, innit? But enjoy yourself. And that's absolutely what we get here. It's fast paced. There's some memorable scenes in it, memorable sequences. It's got a very memorable cast. It's spawned sequels, and I have to be honest, I haven't seen any of the sequels, but I do know what inspired me to kind of rewatch this, to kind of get a review up, is because recently I saw the trailer for the reboot of Anaconda, if you like, the Jack Black version that's coming out this Christmas with Paul Rudd. I thought that trailer looked great. It looked like a really fun way of kind of continuing this film, putting a different spin on it, sort of thing. So it kind of made me want to kind of go back and watch the original because it had been such a long time. And I had a fun time watching it. It's on Netflix in the UK, and that's what I did. I just kind of put it on one night, sat back, eased into it, and just... It's one of those films that you can just watch and just have a little smile on your face while you're watching it. It's just, for me, it's the epitome of what a creature feature is. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to watch a film like this and be kind of, I don't know, educated or, you know, have to use my brain too much. You just kind of want to see people getting taken out and munched by a creature, the creature in the said film. And that's what we get here. So it is absolutely, I think, a guilty pleasure, certainly for me and probably for many of you. And it's a film that I do enjoy revisiting from time to time. I'm actually not sure how many sequels there are. I know, did they do one with David Hasselhoff? Am I wrong in thinking that? But I might revisit some of the sequels leading up to the new Anaconda film that's coming out at Christmas time. But we'll see. If I can track them down and watch them easy enough, then I may well do it. But I suspect, you know, I mean, this one isn't particularly fondly remembered by many, but I would imagine the sequels are less so, so to speak. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Anaconda. A really fun creature feature, guilty pleasure creature feature. Let me know your thoughts on the film, and I will, of course, be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.